What's up, citizens of Gotham? Hello. Sorry for the lateness. Just got a little crazy here. I had to take a shower. I'm gonna have to get a quarantine haircut here. What's up, everybody? Maddie Martin, Shayar, Hobo Roadie, Morning, Charlie, Be Green, Truth to Tweet, Alex, Victory Jen, Marco Dunn, Josh, Core. All right, some of you didn't get notified. God, I know so many of you it so bums me out that you're like, don't get notified by YouTube. It's a. Let me move this over. It's just it's this never-ending battle. Like, make sure you've hit the bell notification button, and you may or may not get notified. I don't know what else to do. Stork Y2K. I hope that his surfboard did not melt on his way home. You guys having rolling blackouts? It's very hot in SoCal. When are you going to make your vegan smoothie cookbook? Oh, that's a good idea. Well, here's what we got today, ladies and gentlemen. Unsweetened organic almond milk, half a frozen organic banana, frozen mixed berries. Couldn't find organic. Bum me out. And scoop of unsweetened all natural peanut butter, and a scoop of chocolate vegan protein powder. Yeah. Vegans. Oh, pure gold. Pure gold, ladies and gentlemen. What's up, Backyard Politics? Do you know of any vegan cottage cheese? No, I've never seen that. I don't know that. I don't know how they could come up with that same consistent. I love cottage cheese. I don't know. It's a thing from my childhood or whatever. But Graham, please talk about the New York Times and BBC covering the bombshell news that the PCR tests for COVID-19 are notoriously unreliable, up to 90% false. Oh, man. I haven't heard about that till just now, but it's not surprising. I mean, there was like last week or 2 weeks ago, there was all those NFL players that tested positive, and then they said they didn't. It's hard to say, man. The color makes me think you may have blended up Barney. Maybe I did. You don't know. Graham, do you put cottage cheese in lasagna? I would if there was vegan cottage cheese and I could make a vegan gluten-free lasagna. I would do that. There's got to be a vegan cottage cheese. I've never seen it, though. Maybe I'm not really looking for it because I just that was one of those things they just wrote off like, well, we'll never get that again. I found really good vegan cream cheese, vegan butter, a lot of good vegan cheese brands. And cottage cheese, I don't know. Emberg 33, shave your knuckles for justice. Folks, this is a fantastic way to support the show, is do what Mark has done. Hit the dollar icon at the bottom of the chat, and the money comes directly to me. You have to pay a little service fee, and that goes to YouTube, but all of the money comes to me, and you can support the show for a couple of bucks. And I'm like almost 90% funded by you, the viewers. I get a little 10%, maybe 15% of ad revenue, which please watch the ads on YouTube. Don't click skip ad. When you click skip ad, I don't get paid. Graham, just Googling, I found 6 vegan cottage cheeses. Okay, well, clearly I haven't made much of an effort to look for them. Nope, they don't exist. You're lying. That's fake news. Snork Y2K. Oh, I'm going to use a search engine. Whatever. Okay. I'll make a better effort the next time I'm in the grocery store. I'll actually look up. I won't look at my feet and just go, I can't, I don't see any. I love that. Rather than admit I'm wrong, I'm going to say you're crazy and you are Russian. There we go. I'm a vote any blue will do person. No one got back to me on running yet. Please message Richard about coming on and talking about California since there was a mix-up about calling moats. Okay. I'll do that. Well, I hope you get to run, my friend. I hope you get to run. Then we'll have you on as a candidate, Mark. So that'll be exciting, my friend. Tim Barber, thank you for supporting the show, ladies and gentlemen. Tim Barber, you're making Gotham great again. MLS shirt, Chicago Fire, right? No, this isn't actually an MLS All-Star. This is from like the 20, I forget what year. It's the MLS All-Star jersey from like several years ago. I just thought it was cool because it just supports the whole league. Little stars and stripey. I don't know. I think I got it on eBay or something. I just like soccer jerseys because they fit tight and then it's so hot. So they're very breathable. Like it's so hot right now. Soccer jerseys just, they're designed for those guys to run around and sweat their asses off. So they're great. Vegan cottage cheese does not melt like real cheese. They lied. Ooh. Boy, we're going to uncover the secret truth of vegan cottage cheese on today's episode. God damn it. Thanks for promoting creativity as part of the revolution. All forms are important. Please talk about them more. That is a great subject to talk about. Hello, everybody. My name is Graham Elwood. You're watching The Political Vigilante. And there's a lot of ways to resist. There's a lot of ways to be an activist. There's a lot of ways to protest. There's a lot of ways to incite a revolution. Revolution doesn't necessarily just mean violent. We've had political revolutions. We've had social revolutions. We've had cultural revolutions. And one of the ways to do that is by artists expressing themselves creatively to express this. There were people such as like Bertolt Brecht and Goethe who expressed themselves in Germany, and this, we don't like what's going on with what the Nazis were doing. I talk about this a lot because it's in the book, Chris Hedges' book, Death of the Liberal Class, which is like required reading. It came out 10 years ago, predicted basically where we're at now. And, he's got a lot of great books. His most recent one came about a year ago, America, the Farewell Tour. I would highly recommend reading that as well. But Death of the Liberal Class goes into some very interesting things, one of which is how art has been used to be highly revolutionary and highly critical. And it's been, especially in the 20s and 30s, all of the art, the plays, the mainstream media at the time was like magazines, stage plays, and the radio. And there was this new medium, the movie thing. But so theater was really powerful back then. Theater was like it was like what TV or movies would be today. And so you had a lot of plays that were very pro-labor, pro-socialist, A Tree Grows in Brooklyn and stuff like that. So much so that when the House of Un-American Activities Committee in the 50s, which was McCarthy witch hunt, and you had people going after artists, they really cited a lot of these artists that were doing these plays in the 20s and 30s. So it's important for, if there's any artists watching the show, whatever your medium is, to start really getting activist artwork out there, to get revolutionary artwork. And in some ways it's however you can express yourself. I would highly encourage it. And also it's therapeutic. If you follow me on Instagram at Graham Elwood, I hooked up with this group in Santa Monica called Sun City Chalkers. This artist Kiki Designs LA, and they just go in this, and during all the protests, and they were in this parking lot just chalking these messages of love and peace and hope and unity. And it was very therapeutic for me personally. And it just got the whole, people would just walk up and go, oh, what's this? And she would have all this chalk, and people, do you want to chalk? And they were, oh, I'm not an artist. Doesn't matter. Families, people met each other, became friends. It's this very beautiful community art project. It was very positive, very unifying. That's just one example. You know, if you're an animator, you know, whatever, if you're a musician, it's time. And this is the other thing too, like going back to where art, like in the 60s and 70s, you couldn't be any artist of any merit unless you had to have some commentary. You had to have a stance on the Vietnam War. You had to have a stance on civil rights. You had to have a stance on women's rights. You had to take a stand on those things. And if you didn't, it was like, who are you? You know? And when you did, you took a lot of shit. And so what has happened over the last 4 to 5 decades is the corporations have taken over show business. So when we talk about the corporate media, it's not just the news, ABC, Fox, CNN, all that. It's Hollywood. The same 5 multinational conglomerates that own every single, like 95% of all media outlets, that includes entertainment. So you're not going to get a big Netflix series or a big, you know, album deal if you're some, you know, with a record label, whatever. You're not going to get those things if you're calling out the lies of, you can call out half of the corruption. You can call out Trump. You can call out this party or that party, but you can't say the American empire is bombing and killing everybody overseas. You can't call out the war machine. You can't. You won't get me. I mean, I'm proof of that. I've been a performer since I was 18 years old. I've been in Hollywood for 25 years. I've done over 300 episodes of television. I hosted game shows. I played their game. I did their late night TV. I did all that stuff. And it was cool. And when I was a young man in my 20s in the 90s, I really wanted that, you know, get famous. I wanted that thing. And I thought, well, if I get famous, and then I'll start I'll do some stuff that's commercial, and I'll do some stuff that's like socially relevant, you know? But they just start shutting you down the minute you call stuff out too much, you're done. They shut you down. So it's up to us now as indie media and independent artists. And now that there's things, and I know YouTube throttles the shit out of me and other channels. That's what, you know, they're owned by Google. That's been working hand in glove with the intelligence community, specifically the CIA, since 2011. So we're up against that, but it's now more than ever, the artist can make art, release it to an audience on the internet. Now the trade-off is you have complete creative control, but how do you get a mass audience? That's the thing that you know, the big networks and HBO, Showtime, and the record labels, Warner Brothers and Sony, like, we'll give you a record deal and we'll promote your thing across the whole, you know, the whole globe basically, and give you to a mass audience, you know. But what's your soul worth? And if you're an artist out there of any note, and if you already have some kind of following online, start talking about this stuff in a creative, interesting way that'll get people to think and wake up. You know, like, this is class warfare. Talk about what Fred Hampton talked about. I mean, I'd love for somebody to bust out a Fred Hampton song and educate people as to what he said and what he did, which he said, capitalism creates racism. Fred Hampton was a young man, head of the Black Panther Party in Chicago in the late 60s, and went to a neighborhood of Southern whites in Chicago called Hillbilly Harlem. And he went to them. Many of them were overtly racist, Confederate flag waving. And he had this first ever rainbow coalition with them. And he said, capitalism creates racism. Capitalism keeps us divided. And the FBI and Chicago Police Department, of course, murdered him. Shot him like 40 times or some ridiculous thing like that. Oh, they claimed he had guns. They were in self-defense. All bullshit. That's what happens. So it's up to us as artists in whatever capacity to bring awareness to this. And it's so frustrating as a comedian because all the like Hollywood comedians that get big stage time in comedy specials, they'll have a handful of Trump jokes and then they'll talk about how great Obama was or whatever. And that gets you, on the main stage at the Comedy Store. That gets you a Netflix special. Or just don't even talk about politics at all. Just, my whole act is just, I'm a boozy train wreck. I sleep around or whatever. And, funny is funny. If you're as a comedian, if you're funny, you're funny. I'll give you credit for that. But like, you're just so discouraged to talk about anything real. And you cannot, if you were like, oh, the war machine and the pharmaceutical companies and the healthcare lobby donate to both parties equally. And Rachel Maddow does segments about Russia that are sponsored by Boeing, a defense contractor. Don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it. You get smeared and then they put the whole machine against you. So that's what artists should be doing. Shave your knuckles for justice. Boo, 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 boo. 212 watching. Steve Wolfbrand. What's up, brother? Hoping Paula Jean Swearigan wins in West Virginia. Shave those knuckles. Yeah, she's awesome, man. And, I hope she wins too and shakes things up. Then my question will be when she gets inside, like the members of the squad who are all instructed to endorse Joe Biden, is she going to do that? Is this notion that, we're just going to overwhelm the Democratic Party with all these progressives? And okay, it's a great theory. I've yet to see it implemented. Bernie, Tulsi, the squad, they've all just like, Joe Biden. And I'm so sick of debating with neoliberals on the internet what I just said. They're like, but Trump. Yeah, being critical of the Democratic Party does not mean that I like Trump. I don't know why that's such a hard leap for the neoliberal brain to make. Both things can be true. Trump's awful. He's a racist. I don't want him in the White House. And the Democratic Party is highly corrupt and they allowed him to happen. But Trump, Richard Trump. Great. Good point. They always go to personal insults too. These neoliberals who think they're so much better than the crazy Trump supporters, and they act in the exact same manner. Obama is scared of a modern day Spartacus rising from the NBA. Yeah, look what Obama did. Just shut down. Just put a blanket on that. That was like, when that happened, I was like, oh man, I was watching sports and they're like not playing. They're not playing. And I was like, wow, the Milwaukee Brewers said we're not playing in Milwaukee. And it was like white players, I was told, were the ones speaking up on the Brewer team going, this ain't right, man. The WNBA was so proud of how they handled it. And then Obama said, go back to work. And now we're not talking about it. None of the sports networks, ESPN, Fox Sports, none of them. No one's talking about Jacob Blake. They were. That's all they were talking about. You had powerful things. I mean, I saw Doc Rivers, the coach of the Clippers, said this really poignant stuff. He's like, it's hard to care for a country that does, however he said, he goes, America hates us. It's hard to like a country that hates you. And he's like in tears, and he's like NFL player called in. He's the head of I think maybe the players union or something. I'm blanking on his name. Calls in to a show talking to Keyshawn Johnson. It's on ESPN. I forget the name of the show, Round Table Talk or what it's called. And this guy's crying, talking about this. And it was like powerful. And it's like, there's got to be, I'm sure there are a lot of All Lives Matter fans who watch the NFL or any of the sports leagues, and to see these players that they probably like and respect talk honestly as black men in tears saying this isn't right. Like, it was powerful. But, now we're back to talking X's and O's. I mean, I like that they have these political statements on the back of their jerseys in the NBA and the WNBA. They all say Breonna Taylor. And in any interview the WNBA does, they bring up the fact, it's been 200 and some days since Breonna Taylor was murdered. We need justice for that. They always say that. And then they go, oh yeah, and we played a really good second half and our offense started to click, which is great. But they had a chance here to shut everything down and force everybody to deal with this. And they didn't because of Obama. It just is so... What's up, Mad S? There is like a thing. Hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Hit the like button. YouTube is throttling me again, so please. Oh God, please, for the love of just. Oh. No. Why is this such a always hard thing to find? I just always have such a hard time finding it. Whatever. 126 likes, folks. Hit the like button. Here we go. Hit the like button. Here we go. 240 people watching. You had it, robot? What are you talking about? We had it. Oh, you dumb robots. Robot, do your job. 134 likes. We're stuck at 71,500 subscribers. Stuck. Oh, YouTube. No, fucking, what the fuck is YouTube's problem? Oh, Jesus, what cocksuckers. Fuck them. Big corporations got to ruin everything. All right. Whatever. I was too young to remember Carter, but Clinton and Obama suck. My whole life has been crushed by Republican politicians, Bill and Barack alike. Yep. Yep. Reef Breland. What's up, Reef Breland? Shave your knuckles for justice. I've rewatched Super Jaime. I didn't know who Jimmy and you thought you guys were hilarious. Maybe you want to start comedy. Then I found politics and found you guys again. Do you still have your malaria suck shirt? Oh, wow. So, folks, if you haven't seen this movie, Super Jaime, it's a movie Doug Benson made where he smoked weed every day for 60 days or whatever it was. Like Super Size Me. And I'm in it because I'm like one of Doug's few friends that doesn't smoke weed, and Jimmy Dore's in it. And I do not still have my malaria suck shirt. It was this organization. It was a bunch of doctors that were also surfers that went to some like third world countries where they still are fighting malaria. So they started this organization. I don't think it's called Malaria Sucks. I forget the name of the organization, but it's a cool shirt. I donated to their organization and I got that shirt. But yeah, watch Super Jaime. It's a fun movie I'm in. Smash that like button. Thank you, Victory Jen. Heard something great left today. The left and right come and go. The military are consistent. Yep. Being paid to lose is the best way to make money. What kills me is how they act condescending to those who want change and win. I know, it's unbelievable. It's the definition of insanity, is doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. It is the definition of insanity. Voting for the Democratic Party is the definition of insanity. It's the definition of insanity. Mad ass, what's up, brother? Shaving knuckles for justice. Hope you're staying cool. Beach or not, this heat wave is frightening. Oh, I know. Record temperatures, 100 in triple digits. Are we going to deal with climate change? Or are we going to deal with climate change? It's nuts. I don't know if that was actually the air conditioner. I forgot to turn it off. I hope it wasn't too noisy. This condenser mic with the thing is pretty good because we don't hear it. Do you guys notice a difference in the sound since I went over there and turned that off or not? Let me know. I mean, I've said this before. So we're in this pandemic. There's an economic collapse coming, 28 million evictions. Oh, and by the way, we're still in climate collapse. Like, we got to face these things. And I still hold out hope. One, just for my own sanity. Two, I'm going to take a seat real quick. Yep. Yeah. I hold out hope, like I said, just one, just for my own sanity. Two, I believe we could do it. We could reverse climate change if the whole world got on board. And I was kind of like looking around, like the way the whole world has responded to COVID-19. Now, obviously, this country has done a lot of dumb crap. Brazil did dumb crap because we have two fascist leaders in those two countries, but still, overall measures have been taken, right? We've done all these things in America and all over the world. The whole world like dealt with this problem. And one of the side effects of it was everybody staying home and lack of driving, and air quality has gotten better. Now, that is not enough to reverse climate change, but I just looked at it and said, we didn't even try, and look what we were able to do. So what if there was a concerted global effort to deal with climate collapse, which is is more serious than COVID-19? You know, the extinction of the human race, that's everybody. COVID-19, even if we did nothing about it and just let it run rampant, it wouldn't kill everybody. So, and I'm sorry, these temperatures are, This isn't just, a heat wave. This is climate change. And when are people going to wake up? When Florida's underwater? Is that when people, oh, yeah. Oh, this weather's cyclical. Rising temperatures are rising. Science doesn't care if you believe it or not. It's still happening. There's 5 islands of floating garbage as a result of single-use plastic. And I've talked about all these great solutions, right? The olivia or aloe vera or whatever that mineral is that we put on the beaches. I did a video about that. And it takes the CO2 out of the oxygen, puts it into the bottom of the ocean. So it's like, I've done video after, and I will continue to do these videos, video after video after video of all of these solutions out there. And every single one of those videos, I say the same thing. If we got behind this financially and on a mass scale, look what we could do. Like, oh boy, we need more PPE. We need more N95 masks. So there's this global effort to make all these masks. People are stitching them. Kids are making them. Like everybody got on board. And I was just like, we could do that with the environment. We could do that with staving off extinction if we want to. Now, you're not going to get it with a guy like Donald Trump, whose entire cabinet is climate change deniers. And you're not going to get it with Joe Biden, who has a middle ground on climate policy. He'll come in and reverse a couple of the deregulations that Trump did and pass one little, he'll pass one little bill here and one little bill there, but there'll be no real bold Green New Deal. And everyone on the left will go, yay, it's better than Trump. And I'll go, okay, great. We're going to go extinct in 2045 instead of 2040. Perfect. Thanks, Joe. There's that middle ground. So we have no leadership in this country, not from Trump or the Republicans and not from Biden and the Clinton idiots in the Democratic Party. We've got no real leadership, and it's going to take something bold to happen. And it's going to, I don't know what it's going to be, man. When the whole country's in 100-degree weather and the whole country's on fire like Australia was last year, is that when I showed you last year when at the height of the Australian fires, the map of Australia, and it's about the same size as the continental United States. And, Australia only has 26 million people in the whole country on a continent that's the size of the continental United States. If we have the fires to the extent that Australia had, it would be whole states would be up in smoke. I mean, so I don't know. I don't know what's going to take, but Trump, yeah, Trump, mama bear. Trump, orange man bad, vote Democrat 2020. You forgot to say Russia. But Romney, but Bush, it never ends. Oh, I know. You haven't had a chance to debate a real intellectual neoliberal, one who's willing to share dark truths. Yeah. Learning the 7 logical failures will open your eyes to political rhetoric. Oh, that's good to know. Emberg 33, what's up, Mark? George Galloway is misinformed on the 9/11 reasons for invading Iraq, Afghanistan. He doesn't know that the weapon of mass. He doesn't know that the WMS excuse was linked to Afghanistan. Oh, I didn't know that. That's interesting. He seems like a pretty informed guy, but everybody vote green. D. Martin, that's irrelevant. Floyd and Brick criminals doesn't mean they deserve to get executed. That 17-year-old white nationalist kid he was a criminal. He had to do community service for committing a crime. Why didn't the cops just shoot him in the back after he had already killed somebody? Yeah, that's complete bullshit. That is complete bullshit. It doesn't mean anyone deserves to get shot in the back. I'm so sick of that argument. It's such a lame, intellectually lazy argument that's just rooted in racism. Oh, he's a criminal. So what? He deserves to have somebody put his knee on his neck for 8 minutes and 45 seconds while he screams for his mom? What kind of inhumane, sadistic evil, soulless country have we become? Okay. Anyone that's ever committed a crime, we can just shoot him in the back? Wow. All right. Doc Rivers is very emotional in front of camera. We need more like him. The Doc Rivers speech made me cry. It was real. Yeah, it was great. Obama's job is to keep everything calm so the rich can make more money. Yep. Yeah. I love how people are scared to call Obama out for fearing being called a racist. He locked up more people than Bush did. Who's the racist? Exactly. Oh, no, they were not within their rights. That was not standard procedure. No way. No way. That's completely wrong. That's completely wrong. Given that we're going to have America's greatest depression, COVID, the climate catastrophe, regardless of who wins in 2020, I say 2016 was the most important election, not 2020. Yeah. If you're a Democrat that doesn't like Obama, you're saying that we haven't had a legit Democratic president in decades. Imagine if NFL players start to not play games. I know. Shut the season down, man. Shut it down. All right, let me see if there's a couple of super chats I missed. Yeah, Bernie was a big disappointment. Yes, he was. Okay, there's a couple. All right, there we go. Emberg 33, what's up? Great way to support the show is what Emberg's doing. If I'm running, I will use your "Make Gotham Great Again" slogan. All right, brother, you got that. Hey, Graham, do you like the movie Point Break, the original one? I love that movie. I love that movie. Patrick Swayze is just gold in it. And there's some great, like, it's so like over the top. If you're a surfer, there's a lot of stuff in there. You're like, come on. But there's some greats, like his character's name was Bodie. I call him Bodieisms. He goes, surfing, it's where you lose yourself and you find yourself. And he's right. It's just like there's some great stuff, and there's Johnny Utah. It's just I love Point Break, and I love me some Keanu Reeves, and then Gary Busey. Before Busey just went completely nuts, like a good 8 to 10 years before Busey just. So he's right on that verge. It's good Busey. It's good Swayze. I'm crazy for Swayze. I love that movie. I fucking love that movie. Cool Blue 71. How you doing? Good to see you on the show. Given not too many people are still alive who lived under the presidency of FDR, not many self-identified Democrats can recognize left-wing policies. Boy, that is a great point. That is a great point. They just have been told the Democratic Party is the left, and it's because the Democratic Party is like a half an inch to the left of the Republican Party, and the Republican Party keeps moving to the right, and the Democrats follow them. So now that's why like Liz Warren was a Democrat 20 years ago, or Liz Warren was a Republican 20 years ago. And really, if you look at it, she hasn't changed. She was sort of a moderate Republican, like a left-leaning Republican 20 years ago. Now that puts her, because everything shifts. She's the same. So now everything's gone to the right. So now she's just, now that makes her a Democrat. But exactly. I mean, we haven't had any, unless you're like in your 70. I mean, when was the last time we had? Not in my lifetime. And we've had all these people that's why this like, we'll pull Joe Biden to the left, man. Really? We couldn't pull Obama to the left. We couldn't pull Clinton to the left. Carter was only in office for one term. He was already pretty left to begin with. LBJ didn't get pulled to the left. He upped the bombing. He increased the war in Vietnam. JFK only did one term. Didn't even finish his first term because he was assassinated. Eisenhower before him, and then Truman. When has anybody been pulled to the left? Explain to me when anyone's been pulled. The last person that was on the left was FDR. I mean, literally. Truman bombed Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Was that a lefty policy? I mean, when have any of them been pulled to the left? It's never happened. I don't like, I understand these people, these like college educated neoliberals. I'm just like, have you read just a history book, just a cursory, just like a picture book of history, just a timeline, like with the shiny graph? When was anyone been pulled to the left? They just want Obama in the White House so they can just enjoy their upper middle class or just flat out rich life. Their 6 and 7 figure incomes. You know, put a rainbow flag on it and they're good. They don't care. They did it. They don't care that the Middle East got bombed. I mean, it's just they're really they're really disingenuous. They claim to care about everything, but not really. They're not going to change their lifestyle. They're not going to give up their comfort. They're not going to, and they don't need $15 an hour. I know these people. I'm friends with some of them. I've worked with a bunch of them in Hollywood. You start getting into show business and you start making nice 6, 7 figure incomes. You move into a nice house. Your kids go to private school in LA because the LA public schools aren't great. You got great health care through one of the unions, the writers union or the directors union or the actors union. They all got really good health care. You don't need free health care. You don't need $15 an hour minimum wage. It doesn't affect you. You don't need student debt forgiveness because you're going to pay for your kids' college. You don't care. You claim that you're better and you claim that you care, but you live in a city of Los Angeles, which has the most like glaring wealth inequities. I mean, LA is gross in some terms, and you've got the Hollywood Hills and all these mansions. You've got the entertainment industry, which has their award shows, which I used to really love. I thought they were fun, and I loved the Oscars, and it was cool to talk about on my movie podcast. But the last couple of years, I just was disgusted. These people show up at these award shows wearing $30,000 to $40,000 in jewelry and clothing. And then they get up there and they preach about their cause. And it's like, you're wearing diamonds that were made by African slave labor. Like, what are you talking about? A $20,000 dress, with materials that were made by people got $1 an hour. If that dress cost, you bought a $30,000 dress or a $20,000 watch or whatever, and the actual worker got paid real wages, the person in the third world country that mined that gold or that diamond was making like $30, $40 an hour. Okay, I'm all right, fine. Good. Then everybody got taken care of. You want to pay 20 grand for a thing, but the guy digging it out of the mine in Africa got real money. Okay, cool. But that's not the case. That's not how it works. And, the Flint water crisis didn't affect them, so they don't give a shit. And the Flint water crisis is still going. The poverty in West Virginia and states like that, they don't care. And so, like, working class white people are like, fuck Hollywood. And then a guy like Trump comes along and they go, fine, I'll go with this guy. And what does Hollywood do? Do they stop and go, man, we got to really reevaluate. Maybe we're wrong. Maybe we shouldn't have backed Hillary. They just go, oh, everybody's dumb and racist. Yay, Liz Warren's not going to do any interviews on Fox News. Oh, great. You're just helping the divide in this country. You don't want to unify people. You just want to go back to the good old days of the Clinton and the Obama years. You protested all the war stuff with Bush. Good for you. You were anti-war during the Bush years and the lies about the weapons of mass destruction and the war in Iraq. Sean Penn, I remember gave a speech at the Oscars during that time, and he said one thing that every actor knows true, including that WMDs are fake. And he was like, everyone was anti-war at those award shows, anti-Bush, anti-war in Iraq. I was like, okay, Obama gets into the office, they stopped talking about it at the award shows. They stopped talking about it. Nobody was like, hey, why is Obama dropping more bombs than Bush? What about the 85,000 dead children in Yemen? What about that? Nobody wants to talk about that. They don't care that Kamala Harris put 120,000 black people behind bars as Attorney General of the state of California. It didn't affect them. They don't care that Steve Mnuchin and Kamala and Obama and all the banking people, all the banks, first it was 5.2 million foreclosures. Then I've heard the numbers up to, now they're saying this probably could be closer to 8 million foreclosures, even if it's 5.2 million. Didn't affect them because they had their nice 6-figure gig. They work for a tech company, or they were in show business, or they had some nice white collar job. They didn't lose their home to foreclosure. They're fine. 22 vets a day didn't affect them because none of them, and I know these people, they're raised in privilege and poverty, or in without any poverty around them. They didn't have to, their kids are not going to have to join the army to get a college degree. I don't know how many people I met when I did shows in Iraq and Afghanistan. And then when I would talk about it on stage in the States, and vets and active duty and families would come up to me. I don't know how many people say, well, I joined because I need to get my college paid for. I live in a town where there's no jobs. The factory got closed down because of NAFTA or the TPP or one of those things like that. And they're just like, it's either work at the Walmart for minimum wage, which in some parts of the country is whatever, $7 an hour. There's not one single state in the United States where a full-time job at minimum wage pays the bills. Not one. And so these wealthy neoliberals, none of them, their kids didn't have to join the army to pay for college. They didn't join up after 9/11. They didn't have that. They didn't do it. They didn't have to do that. They weren't economically forced into joining the war on terror. So the 22 vets a day that commit suicide doesn't really affect them. Nobody's, and in the nice schools, the nice suburban schools and the private schools, you know what? Army recruiters and Marine Corps recruiters, military recruiters, they're not showing up there. They show up to the working class schools and the schools with the kids of color and the working class white people and the black and brown. That's where the military recruiters come in. The economics are very similar in poor white areas and poor black and brown areas. It's the same economics. There's no jobs. There's not a lot of hope. So it's either crime, minimum wage, or military. And so these neoliberals just don't, it's really disappointing. These are like friends of mine. They're just like, oh, Graham, why are you keep being critical of Biden? Trump's so bad. And I'm like, I don't like Trump. Like, I always have to like spell that out. And they just don't realize that they have all this privilege. And then like, even if we go back to the Hollywood thing, and these women like Jessica Chastain, she's a fine actress and stuff. And she's very critical of the sexism in Hollywood, and like the award shows, like all the directors for best director nominees were all men several years, 1 or 2 years in a row. And they pointed that out. And I was like, oh, okay, good point. But then all the best actress, best leading actress, best actress in a lead role, all white women. And none of them stood up and went, this ain't right. It's all white women. And, Jessica Chastain and them were like, we're tired of the sexism. It's like, okay, Jessica, are you opening up a business in the black and brown neighborhoods? Are you giving women of color jobs? Are you? You could. You make millions of dollars. You have a lot of power. You're a box office draw. You have a lot of power in Hollywood, way more power than I'll ever have. What have you done with it? So then they don't realize that they just sound like they're rich white ladies complaining. Like they just sound like women at a country club going, well, the men's locker room is a little bit nicer than the women's locker room. And we're tired of being, it's like people who like, I'll never be able to afford a country club. If I try to walk in there, they'd kick me out. The best thing I could do is get a job there cleaning the toilets. And you're complaining that your really fancy locker room isn't as nice as the men's locker room. Oh, boo-hoo, thoughts and prayers. So I really just, I can't listen to this Hollywood crap anymore. I just can't. People who say this, who are really rich, and they people I know that I started in comedy with, people who I respect creatively, like they're funny people, they're good comedians, they're good writers, whatever. And they don't see it. They live in $1 million homes and drive fancy cars, and then they scream about the injustice of it all. It's like, you just drove by a tent city, man. You just drove by a tent city. And whenever the Democrats do something awful, they just don't want to hear it. They just don't want to hear it. They'll just always go, yeah, but Trump and the Republic. Yeah, I'm not excusing what Trump has done. He's awful. They don't want to hear. They just don't want to hear it. It's just more this team, my team better than yours crap. And unfortunately, there is a little bit of an age thing. It's like Gen Xers and up, and I'm a Gen Xer. It's like, they're still spoon fed on, they watch MSNBC and CNN and think they know what they're talking about, and they think they're so much more informed because they don't watch Fox, and Fox is crazy propaganda, fear mongering bullshit. But then they drink the same Kool-Aid. Fox News is telling white people, oh, watch out, blacks and Antifa are coming, and then they tell the MSNBC viewers, oh, Russia. Oh, God. And they don't want to see it, and they don't want to listen to it. And when I bring it up, they'll just go, but Trump. And it's just like, I can't stand it. It's like, it's hard for me to like be friends with these people. It's hard for me to respect them. They don't want to listen. And I always say, like, their refusal, and some of them are opening up and wanting to hear about Black Lives Matter, and the white people are like, wow, we should really listen to this. I'm like, okay, good. We all should, especially us as white people. I've had a lot of white privilege. I'm a middle-class white guy. I've had a lot of white privilege, and I'm really like opening my eyes to that. My high school has had a lot of discussions with my graduating class on Zoom, which are really cool. Because my high school was 40% Black. Jacob Blake's dad and uncle went to my high school. His uncle, Justin, was my teammate. We played football together. Jacob was a few years older. I didn't really know Jacob Blake Sr. So Justin, and I played football together. So my high schools, we've had to do a lot of, but then they don't want to, and the people of any ethnicity, especially the white people that are like opening their eyes up to like, wow, man, there is systemic racism in the police departments and in our society. It's really brutal. I'm like, yes. And when you tell me to not call out the corruption of the Republican or the Democratic Party because Trump's bad, you sound like an all lives matter person. That's like, oh man, yeah, but he had a criminal record, like we just heard in the chat. Oh, Jacob Blake had a criminal record. Oh, so that means he deserves to get shot in the back? What? That's insane. That's devoid of logic. I don't, there's not systemic racism. There's just a few bad apples. That is the same thinking, the same sentiment as, yeah, I mean, the Democrats aren't perfect, but they're better than Trump. No, they cheat, they gerrymander, they rig elections, they purge votes. The UN has said this, not just me, not just like angry burn bros, that bullshit brush we're painted with. The UN has said this. So when are people going to, what are we supposed to do? Well, first of all, let go of this notion that all you need to do is once every 4 years, wake up to what's happening in the world, watch some clips of a primary debate or two, watch a little bit of the convention, and then think that's it. Stop thinking that once every 4 years, that's going to fix it. Stop thinking that the president is this like, all powerful wizard that can just wave a wand. Get more involved. What do you stand for? I'm an anti-war, pro-labor socialist. That means not that I like Stalin. It means that I want workers' rights. And I'm an environmentalist, not just like, oh, I'm going to put an Obama rainbow sticker on my Prius, but like, we need to fix the environment or we're all going to die. Those are the things I stand for. And I'm not going to back down and let corporations buy up politicians. And just because they have a blue D next to their name, give them a pass. That's not a free democracy. We don't do you understand even what a democracy is? The people get to decide how their government works. That's not what we have here. It's like I got to do a rudimentary like fucking civics 101 class with everyone. Oh boy, shave your knuckles for justice. I'm in Echo Park. It's too hot to shave my knuckles. Love you, brother. I get it. Cool Blue 71 again. Shaving knuckles for justice. Inexperience is why some self-identified Democrats are easily misled by the Democratic Party. Some of them don't even know they need to wake up. Yeah. I look at my own trajectory, man. I didn't pay enough attention. I'll just own it. I was not paying enough attention during the Obama years. I wasn't. I paid attention in 2008 and Bush was awful and these two wars were bad. And, you know, the mortgage crisis happened and gas was $5 a gallon. And I watched Obama and I listened to him speak and I was like, all right, he sounds like the guy that can do it. But I even remember on the campaign trail, he was talking about green energy. I was like, yeah, that's what we need, green energy. And then on the campaign, I heard it and I should have not fallen for this back then. But he's like, he gave a speech on the campaign trail and they just showed an excerpt of it. I was watching it on CNN or whatever. And he's like, and we're going to get solar and wind and clean coal. And I was like, clean coal. And I was already pretty deep in being an environmentalist and getting more knowledge. I was like, clean coal sucks. Clean coal is bullshit. Clean coal it doesn't exist. It's like ethical pornography, like child pornographer. It's like, what? It's like, you know, socially conscious drug cartel. Like the two don't go together, man. Clean coal. There's nothing clean about coal. We need to be done with coal. And he was just saying that to get like coal states to get the votes. And I'm just like, oh, he's not. I was like, he's not really going to fight for us. He's just playing more politics. And then people defend, yeah, but that's politics. You got to do that. No. You go to West Virginia and you say, we're going to stop using coal and I'll transition you into green energy jobs. Actually, more of you will be working now once we get rid of coal. That's what you do. That's bold leadership. You go to West Virginia. You don't placate them with platitude bullshit like clean coal. Ugh, God. Third party 2024, we're done. Yeah, Biden promises to continue fracking. Sure, you get real leadership. Your oligarchs lead you no matter which party wins the election. That's a good point. Thank you so much. Graham, have you been to Australia and surfed? Yes, I have. Ron and I did a tour there in November. I surfed Bondi Beach in Sydney, and then I surfed Perth in Western Australia. And I've also surfed outside of Adelaide too. Rad. And I've surfed outside of Melbourne as well. I've been in Australia numerous times. I love Australia. Australia is awesome. Emblem Fate, Shave Your Knuckles for Justice. 373 people watching, ladies and gentlemen. 213 likes. Please hit the like button. Get the likes up there. Get the likes up there. Europe stole Africa's resources without pay. Lots of African countries rely on oil. Before we get off, I have to know how they will be taken care of. Oh, wow. That is a great question and a great point. One of the things that I've seen in Green New Deals, and we've got to be leery of the term Green New Deal because they're going to co-opt it, and the fossil fuel companies are going to come and go, Green New Deal, you know, we're going to dye the oil green or whatever they're going to, you know, nonsense they're going to do. So one of the best solutions I've heard within an actual Green New Deal, and not just domestically, but would be part of our foreign policy, is to help countries that like that, that are like Venezuela or any of these African nations or Iran that are completely dependent upon oil, how do we help them transition? Rather than spend all this money on war, we would help, because one of the things we would do in a real Green New Deal in this country is we would transition fossil fuel jobs. So I'm just going to use round numbers as an example. Let's say you work in an oil refinery in the US and you're making, I'm just going to pick a number, $50,000 a year. Well, you would stay part of the Green New Deal. And again, this is where MMT comes in and the how we're going to pay for it crowd. Oh, the same way we pay for all these wars and Wall Street bailouts. The Federal Reserve will just pay for it. The same way we just gave $4.25 trillion in the CARES Act to Wall Street rather than give it to the American people who are really struggling in the middle of an economic shutdown because of COVID-19. That's the way we would pay for it. Does that make sense? Am I explaining that correctly? So one of the things that would be part of a Green New Deal is allocating funds. So the oil refinery person, it's making 50 grand a year, would continue to make 50 grand a year as we transition them into a green job. So, and again, these are real broad strokes. We need to get people involved and discuss and debate and come up with, but I'm just going to paint with real broad strokes here. Okay. So we start a Green New Deal, let's say June of 2021. And the goal is to shut that oil refinery down in 6 months. And in that 6-month time, we're going to be building a solar panel factory. Let's just real simple. And so the solar panel factory is going to come online in 6 months, January of 2022, let's just say. So as we shut down the oil refinery, all those employees that we slowly start to shut down, and they have to wait to start working at the solar plant, they're paid their exact wages during that 6-month transition time. So they're not on the street. They're not getting unemployment. We just pay them their weight, whatever they were making, 50 grand a year, whatever their weight, they get that exact money. And then they transition into the green job, making the same money. Fossil job shut down, green job goes. That's how we do it. And we could do that from a foreign policy standpoint as well with countries like you're talking about, Emblem Fate, which is a great question. And this is why we have why if we actually had a real democracy, this is what a real democracy is about, to have these discussions, to bring this up. Like, wow, I didn't think about that. Okay, how do we solve that? Well, we would do it the same way. We give all this money, hundreds of billions of dollars and trillions of dollars in subsidies, right? And then we spend all this money on on oil subsidies. We do that. And then all this money on war. So take all that money that we're already spending, and now we spend it rather than war and bombing people and sanctions, which are an act of warfare that hurt, murder, and starve people and are awful. We'd go, hey, third world country, or country, whatever, in whatever you're third world or not, but hey, country that's dependent upon oil, like a small country that's, let's say, some of these countries are just like, they're the size of, Texas or Illinois or something like that. And they've got 20, 30 million people, and they have this one main revenue stream, oil. Same thing. Everybody that's working there, here's money to keep everybody paid, but you got to shut that thing down. And here's money to start your green energy. So going back to that Olivaria or whatever mineral that we put on the beaches, that I did that video that shows that mineral can absorb CO2 and bury it in the ocean in a matter of a couple of years, a process that naturally takes about 1,000 years. And it's a way to suck all the CO2 out of the air. You just put this on the beaches, and it's a naturally thing. It's good. It's safe. And this is a mineral that is readily available throughout the world. Okay, so let's say one of these countries, and I bet you, I don't know off the top of my head, but I could almost guarantee you there's a country out there that has a bunch of this mineral that also is that they're not using, but they have oil or coal or something like that, or natural gas. So we shut down the fossil fuel ones, and then, here's this mineral that we need that's clean to extract, or extract it as clean as you can, and everything. We transition everything. Oh, we need trucks to go deliver this stuff. All right. Well, now they're going to be vegetable oil trucks or whatever. They're going to run on veggie. Like all of that money is spent to in anywhere, any part of the world where someone's like, hey, but we have this local issue and this hurts our economy this way. Great. Here's what the money is for the Green New Deal. And it's not just a domestic policy, it's a foreign policy. And it's a policy that we force all especially the big, powerful nations to do. In the same way the whole world kind of got together to fight COVID-19. And some countries did it better or worse. We're certainly on the worst end of the spectrum. But overall, everybody dealt with it in one way or another. The whole world got together and said, this is what we need to do. And some country go, well, we need help with this. Okay, well, here's how we're going to help you. Or scientists sharing information, the whole world working together to save the planet. We could do it. Or we're all going to go extinct. Karen 2024. We need something more radical than electoralism to save us now. Yeah, we've talked about that a lot on this show. I talk about electoral politics, but again, at the end of the day, it's going to take more than that. It's going to take general strikes. It's going to take strikes in the streets and shutdowns. That's what it's going to take. Let me make sure I did not miss any of the super chat, buddy. Super chat. Graham, it's called fighting a rear guard action. Coal and gas know their time is almost up and they're getting anything they can before the hen house is empty. Oh, yeah. Graham, we are multicasting, so you had 32 more viewers. What's up, Nice Garden? How you doing, brother? 257 likes, everybody. Please hit the like button. Please hit the like button, the like button. All right. Oh, is this such a thing to find? Beep, 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 beep. Just trying to get a place that stores all of the super chats because when I go on a long rant, I miss some of them. Why do you keep doing this? Oh, why do you keep doing this? Just trying to get to this one page in YouTube and then it changes it to another one. It just did it. It just did it. Why does it do this? God. YouTube just can't help itself, making it more complicated. Mm-hmm. I don't know why. I'm trying to. Fuck. So frustrating. So frustrating. There's a couple super chats that I've missed that I got to go back and get, but I'm having a hard time finding them. I don't think it's autoplay, my friend. I don't think it's autoplay. It's really not. So frustrating. So frustrating. It's so simple. Then I click the analytics button and it should take me right in there, but it won't do it. I don't touch a thing. And this should give me the studio that shows me everything that's happening. And then it automatically switches it to this. All right, I'm getting rid of this whole thing. It's maddening. All right. Yeah, it doesn't work. Doesn't work. Oh, God. No, I don't want to send feedback. YouTube, you just make it harder. Fucking stupid. There we go. Is it that one? There we go. Good Lord. What a stupid thing. 279 likes. All right. Okay, here we go. Steve Wolfbrandt, Shaver Knuckles for Justice. Steve Graham, what's your view on UFO disclosure? Have you seen Joe Rogan with Bob Lazar? I have not seen Joe Rogan with Bob Lazar. I do believe in UFOs. I always have. I firmly believe that there's no way. I mean, it would really bum me out if we're the only intelligent life in the universe. We're dumb. Like Earth is a trailer park. We're the idiots. We're the slack-jawed morons of the universe. I mean, we kill each other for these dumb reasons. We ruin we need an environment. We need breathable air and drinkable water to survive. And yet we destroy it for profit. We're the dumbest, like, backwards, illiterate morons of the universe. I mean, like, let's be honest. We're like, Earth is the trailer park. I mean, come on. There has to be more intelligent life. And I think they've come here and just gone, wow, these guys are just idiots. They're idiots. They're killing each other over what? Who are they run? Trump and Biden? That's their best choice? They cheated this progressive and he didn't say anything? Like, what? Why would you do this? They rape and traffic children on this planet? What? Who would do that to their own? What? Yeah, there has to be UFOs. Jason Milton, what's up, Jason? Shave your knuckles for justice. Graham, so how do you become a vegan? Was it tough to be vegan? Have you seen the fake outrage of the military from Biden while he voted for all wars? Yeah. Oh, God. The fake outrage and the stupid corporate media that pushes this ridiculous thing. I mean, it's just, and people won't, the fake, Trump said awful things about the military. I'm sure he did. I mean, when Trump made fun of a Gold Star family 4 years ago, I don't know how any veteran could have voted for him. I really have no idea. But I don't know how any veteran could vote for Biden either. That video where he was confronted by veterans who were like, hey, you sent all my friends to these ridiculous wars and you just have done nothing but bomb and profit from it. I'm just so sick. It's just such dumb. It's just like Real Housewives, just some stupid reality show. It's so preposterous. They're all warmongers. They're all war criminals, like all of them. Trump, Bolton, Mike Pence, Mike Pompeo, Hillary, Obama, John Kerry. Oh, but he fought in Vietnam. Yeah, and now he loves war. I mean, Biden, Bush, Cheney, Rumsfeld, Bill Clinton, all of them. Ugh. North American Ape, shave your knuckles for justice. I'm curious as to when people will realize that Obama is the enemy of the working class. His job was always to kill any uprising in a kind manner. Absolutely. That's his job. Any uprising. The NBA they had a moment. That was a labor. They work for all the owners are billionaires. Just about every single professional sports team owner of any of the big leagues are billionaires. They're billionaires. And sure, some of these players got $100 million contracts. So but they still work for billionaires. And they didn't, and Obama just comes in and shuts it down. Boom. Reef Breland. I also run the Only Jimmy Dore Show Discord server. I tweeted you a link. You should come and check it out. Okay, I will. Thank you, Reef. I appreciate that. Alex Allen. Hello. You're making Gotham great again. Vegan guns, Alex. Are Pelosi at all stealing stimulation checks, hoping for mass evictions because the private equity donors are poised to acquire all the single family houses and apartments? I wouldn't doubt that, Alex. I haven't seen any direct evidence to say that is definitely true, but I'm not like, what? No way. Of course, I wouldn't doubt it. They're sitting there. There's no way they're not sitting around, both people in both parties. And they're the hedge fund people and Wall Street and Goldman Sachs. There's no way they're not sitting around going, oh, wow, all these evictions. Boy, how can we profit from this? We'll snatch up all these houses while everybody's living in tent cities, man, and we'll charge them double. Like they're sitting around. They're awful people. They're horrible people. Of course they're thinking that. Of course they're having that conversation. Of course to all of it. I'm going to get a couple of the super chats that are in StreamYard so we can get them up on the screen, and then I'll go back to the ones I missed. Emblemed Faye, Shaving Knuckles for Justice. Teach Malcolm X in school. Neolibs will disappear. Yeah, exactly. That's why I've done a lot of videos the last couple in August. I did a fair amount of videos showing Malcolm X, his quotes. Because neoliberals are like, huh? They're all like, George Floyd and Black Lives Matter, which is great. But then they hear that and they're like, oh, this is me. Or can they literally hear it? Form small communities based on sustainability. Ooh, I love that, Jelly Love. Marco Smith, what's up, Marco? Shaving my knuckles for MLK. Peace is not the absence of violence. It is the presence of justice. Wow. Nice. Let's read that Martin Luther King quote again. Peace is not the absence of violence. It is the presence of justice. Wow. That's bold, man. Never heard that MLK quote. Growing up, studied him in school, never heard these quotes from him. They kept them all hidden. Kept Malcolm X hidden. They kept them all hidden from us. But there's this thing called the internet now. We can see all their speeches and all their quotes. And everyone's like, whoa. Happy Labor Day. Thank you, Kim. Emberg33, what's up, Mark? Boom. I Twitter DM'd you the answer I got on running. Oh, well, let's check that out, pal. Boop, 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 boop. I don't know why I have taken it to the street. Everybody, boop, boop. Hey, Mark. Hope all is well. The next council election is November 2021, 2 years term. The town clerk will have nomination papers available late June, July, early August. It takes 100 signatures to get on the ballot if you are running for district seat, or 150 if you are running at large. Townwide seats where there are 3 top vote getters win the seats. If you are running for a district seat, that all 100 signatures have to be from your district. If you are running at large, then you need at least 25 from each of the 6 districts of the town for a minimum of 150. The clerk will make the signature sheets available sometime next summer, probably around late July, or early August. All right, Mark. There you go, pal. You got your plan, brother. This both sucks and blows at the same time. Shave your knuckles for justice. Make mindfulness that move my cheese. What's up, brother? Heartbreaking news, Graham. David Graeber died. Oh, wow. I didn't know that. He was only 59. He played a major role in Occupy Wall Street. He gave an amazing lecture called Revolt of the Caring Classes. Oh, wow. Related to his last book, Bullshit Jobs. Would you consider doing a segment? Yeah, I will. I didn't know that much about David Graeber, but I'll let me get. I'm starting to try to write down segments I want to do so I can keep track of stuff. But give me a quick second. Let me write down his name and I'll try to get to a segment on that this week if I can. Thanks for bringing that to our attention. All right. Thank you, McMindfulness, man. Really appreciate it. I appreciate everybody's donation. And when you can afford the big ones, it's great because you're helping pay for people that maybe money's really tight right now. So it's really cool. And anything you can do, $1, $2, anything helps. And if money's really tight, I always say there's great free ways to support the show. One, this way I don't talk about as much, but please download the audio podcast for Political Vigilante. It's in the politics and news section of iTunes. It's also on Stitcher and Spotify and all that. And also, and like it, give positive reviews on iTunes. Those analytics all help. Those are free things you can do to help support the show. I'm trying to grow the download numbers of the audio. So what I do is I take these live streams and I just release them as a podcast, as an audio podcast, so people can consume the show in multiple ways. And I give it, if you're a Patreon subscriber at the $5 level, you get early access to it. As well as if you're, I put it up on Rockfin as well. So those are free ways though to support the show, is download the podcast. Also, Government Secrets is on iTunes and all. Me and Lee Camp, our 8th episode will drop on Monday. So those are downloads. All those analytics, I know I harp on them a lot, but they matter. So that's why hitting the like button matters. That's why making sure you're subscribed matters. Sharing my videos on your social media, comments, just a thumbs up and a great show, Graham, comment in the comment section of my videos on YouTube. All that stuff helps. And then download the audio podcasts. Even if you don't consume the show that way, just download it and then delete it, because the download numbers add up. And then listen to my comedy on Pandora. I have a Pandora channel, Graham Elwood Pandora channel, both my comedy albums, and then they put a bunch of other comedians on there as well. That's a free way. You get comedy and you get a great way to support the show. Those are all these free ways to support the show. I appreciate it. And then if you do have some money, I have a PayPal button. If you go to grahamelwood.com, there's obviously these super chats. I have a Venmo at Graham-Elwood. I even have a P.O. box. That takes a little longer, but whatever. And then, those are all the great, those are other way. And then there's obviously Patreon and Rockfin. So really appreciate it. When I'm able to do little things for people, also reading and art. Yeah. It's be of service. That's a good point. Talk about mental health. We're in a dark time and the quarantine and pandemic or whatever. I know some areas are more open than others, but still so much of our society is shut down. And I cannot tell you, helping other people just really fills my heart. When I feel down and joy, the whole world's done, the whole human race is idiots or whatever. I can get dark. You help somebody and they're really thankful. I mean, I just went through a bunch of stuff in my apartment and got rid of all this stuff and just gave some shoes to some homeless people. Like I saw some guys walking around with flip-flops on. I was like, do you want a pair of shoes and some socks? And they were like, thank you. And it made this person's life. And he's like, I'll never forget this. And you know what? I'll never forget it. Volunteer for something, help some people out, man. Just volunteer for some organization or just somebody that's having a tough time. Donate. I mean, I got rid of so much stuff in my apartment and it felt great. And some of it I sold because, I was making a little money. A lot of it I gave away and donated to organizations or just gave to people. And then I had friends of mine who were like, some of them struggling and they lost their job, whatever, gave it to them. Just help people out, man. You feel so much better when you help other people. You feel so much better. Like anytime I'm down and negative, I come on this show and you guys, we talk about stuff, I feel better. So like, yeah, that's a great solution. Earth is the Dayton, Ohio of the solar system. That's funny. Cuttaphil, what's up, Cuttaphil? Shave your Doggles for Justice. Strong request, Fly Me to the Moon. Got Jimmy to sing it last week. Oh, I can do that. Fly me to the moon. Let me play among the stars. Let me see what life is like on Jupiter and even Mars. I'll do it as Shatner. Or maybe Eddie Vedder. Oh, in other words, oh, snap. Vegan isn't hard for me. I never liked meat. J.H. Scott 6. What's up? If there are space aliens, they probably got a travel alert against coming to Earth. Probably. They're like, hey, let's go in this galaxy. And it's like, ooh, travel alert. Do not go to Earth. It's riddled with morons and violence and insanity. Ooh, let's get out of here. And the valuation, commodification of essentials to survive: food, water, energy, information, housing. It's not anti-hierarchical organizations such as cops or free gym. Interesting. Veganism isn't for everybody. Yeah, that's true. Melissa H. What's up, Melissa? You're shaving knuckles for justice. Sorry I'm late. Watch Karate Kid. No, not kidding. That is the best reason to be late for this show is because you were watching Karate Kid. You want to know why? You're the best around. Nothing's ever gonna bring you down. You're the best around. Nothing's ever gonna bring you down. You're the best around. Nothing's ever gonna bring you down. Sweep the leg. Get him a body bag. Love that movie. We're all chumps. Malcolm X. Yeah, he said, if you vote for the Democratic Party, you're a chump. Malcolm X said that. What? Vegan is cheap. Beans, peas, etc. Very cheap. Yeah, MLK started demanding money for the poor right before he was killed. Isn't that weird? Wax on, wax off your knuckles for justice, Melissa H. Karate Kid was mostly teen romance. Not enough karate. I know. There should have been more karate. Zippity day. Boom. Shave your knuckles for justice, zippity day. Thank you for supporting this show. Yeah. Humans eating meat and dairy is not natural. I always say this about dairy. What would you do if you saw a chimpanzee nursing on a cow in a field? When you go, oh, what the fuck? That's in essence what we're doing. We're drinking another mammal's milk. What? It's kind of gross. And it's funny. societies that drink a lot of milk and dairy have higher rates of osteoporosis. We're told, oh, it's good for your bones. And cultures that don't consume a lot of dairy have less osteoporosis. More lies told to us. All right, let's bang out some of these super chats too that I missed. Vincent Sandoval, what's up, Vincent? Shaving Knuckles for Justice. Want the truth about cops and roids? Have legal proof of it on government complicity and drug trafficking. Please read email sent to your webpage. Please reach out. Okay, Vincent, yes. And I know you sent me this, and I just went through a whole move, and I'm traveling and everything like that. So, yes, thank you for reminding me, and I will talk about that. We are going to talk about that. Thank you. And I appreciate it. And I appreciate when all of you send me stuff. I can't get to all of it, and I really try. It's just me, but thank you for reminding me, Vincent, and thank you for supporting the show. And we will talk about, I'm going to write that down. You're the best around. Nothing's ever gonna bring you down. Wendy Melly, what's up, Wendy? Shaving Knuckles for Justice. Northeastern University kicked out 11 students for breaking social distancing rules and are refusing to refund their tuition. What's your opinion on that? Wow. That's interesting. I guess I'd need to know a little more information on it to like really come down on a position or whatever, but I don't know. I understand the like health risks and the, like if kids aren't taken seriously, because you're all these colleges that are opening up. I've heard like a dorm at Ohio State, the kids were partying, and now it's COVID spreading. I don't know. It's interesting. It's like you got it. I wonder if there's more to it. I don't know. I would have to read a little more about it. Kicking the kids out because they weren't practicing social distancing, that I get. Not giving back their tuition, like, come on, man. All right, the kids screwed up, kick them out, but give them their money back. Then now they're just asking for like a lawsuit. They're like, if it's all about just protecting the safety of the student body by not having COVID spread, then just kick the kids out and give their money back. That's my opinion, I guess. Who knows? Charles Pereira, what's up, Charles? You're making Gotham great again. Laugh my ass off. You all were whining against the use of masks in the middle of a plague, and you think they're going to go with science to fight climate change? That's funny. Okay, I think we're up to speed. I went to NEU for undergrad. All right. Spring water is calcium distilled. Spring water has calcium, distilled doesn't. Think of the calcium as setting a lock. When the amount on the medicine side is too high, it blocks the intestines from absorbing. Oh, wow. Good to know. Good to know. Snork Y2K. Busting out some water knowledge. Snork. I got your super chat, Wendy, right? We just got it. I know I had to kind of go in reverse order. Because I like StreamYard, how it puts the super chat on the screen right there. I think that's cool. I like the graphic, but it scrolls up and you can't go back and get old ones. So I have to like go back into YouTube and read it. So that's why that happened. Sorry. People freak out when they see a mother breastfeeding the 3-year-old, but then go give a glass of milk to their kids, telling them it's good for them. I know. Vanilla rice milk is good, but I can't find anymore. Hemp milk rules. Just got some oat milk truth to tweet it. She hasn't tried it yet. Cat milk? What are you talking about? Jedi Mullet 77, what's up? Good to have you on the show. Karate Kid, back in the day when you could fight somebody and not have to worry about being sued. Back in the good old days, you could just beat a guy up at a Halloween party and not have a problem. That's hilarious. 7% of Americans think chocolate milk comes from brown cows. That's hilarious. I use almond milk on my cereal. It's fantastic. Camille, what's up? Shave your knuckles for justice. I went on a date with a cute guy today and it went really well and I'm feeling great. That's all. Hi, Graham. Well, that's good. I'm glad you had a good date. Isn't a good date nice? There's like you go on a date, you're like, there's a lot of potential here. I think it's a date's fun, a first date, because it's like both people are at least considering having sex with the other one, at least thinking about it. And maybe some things go sideways where you or the other person goes, this ain't my thing. But at least going, that's part of it. You think about it. You're thinking long-term relationship maybe and get to know them and that's all good. But there's still like, could I? And somebody like, hey, let's go out. You're thinking, wow, they've thought about, I'm always like, well, they've thought about having sex with me at least. That's cool. That's a bonus. I was like, hey, Graham, you want to go together and do something? All right. Well, I hope it turns into something special, Camille. So you're saying there's a chance, right? I mean, you get that's something. Someone's like, hi, they've at least thought about it. They saw you or looked at your picture or whatever and thought, maybe there's they've at least thought about it. It's kind of like, all right. Yeah, somebody pictured me naked. Sweet. I love dating and socializing. Yeah. Graham, what kind of water are you drinking? Fucking freedom water? It's just regular water, filtered water it's been sitting out a while, so there's bubbles in it. It's not sparkling. It's in a mason jar. I'm actually drinking. I brew my own. It's moonshine. I'm drinking moonshine. I moved to Kentucky. I'm in the Kentucky mountains. Fantastic. Freedom water. I hate dating. Thank God I'm married. Yeah, this dating is, I don't know how you date in this era. I mean, this is rough. Dating in a pandemic. It is nuts. Clean cold water. Yeah, it is. It's Granny Petrol. She brought over some fracking fluid. Tastes good. I was watching Bo the Fifth Column doing a live stream. He's what I can call a conservative socialist. Oh, wow. Harry, thanks for bringing that up. I watch him on occasion, Bo of the Fifth Column, and I really recommend watching this guy because what he does, he's like I don't know where he lives, but he just does it out of his his tool shed or garage or some shit. And he's just like he talks to like kind of rural red staters. He talks in their language. And he's very like, I just really, it's impressive to watch, man. You know, what he does and how he says it and he relates it in their language. And it's really cool. It's really cool what he does. I really recommend watching his show. It's really interesting. And it's, I don't know. I'd love to know I'd love to meet the guy, talk to him or have him on the show. Cause I'd love to know like what's your response getting? Are a lot of like red state sort of rural, working class white people or whatever, like, are you helping them turn the corner? Which would be great. Because some of those folks are more likely to listen to that guy than they would like to me even, because the vegan guns are scary. They're scary for you. There's too much. Look at that. Oh my God. Look at the way it catches the light. Look at it. Just perfectly chiseled, just gorgeous. Just put that. Here's my first date right there. Boom, boom. I'm just going to show up on a first date. Hi. Is it too much for you? There's too much vegan fury, too much male vegan sexuality for you. What if I showed up on a date and said that? This chick would just be like, oh, okay, cool, dude. I gotta go. You're nuts. I'd be like, no, you're nuts. Just act like a psycho. God, that would be funny. Naughty vegan, what's up? How you doing, brother? If adult humans were meant to drink cow's milk, they would salivate when looking at a cow's teat. Same for looking at a pigeon or dog when hungry. That's a great point, naughty vegan. Oh boy, that's funny. Glenn Greenwald is vegan. You got that right. Angela Davis is vegan. Too much Magnum in these sleeves. What's up, Kate? What's the difference between the People's Party and the Green Party in terms of platform? Well, there's several things. First of all, the Green Party is an active party. It's been around for a long time. The movement for a People's Party, they're trying to start a People's Party. And the Green Party is obviously very focused on the environment. It's anti-war. And it's been around for a while. So it's on a lot of state ballots already. You can join that party. Most states you can sign up and be a Green Party member. The movement for the People's Party hasn't even fully been formed yet. They're trying to start with the People's Party convention. They want to start. That's what it was about. The People's Party is really trying to get across labor lines. It's definitely pro-labor. And I would go to their website. I would go to the Movement for a People's Party website, and I would go to the Green Party's national website and read them both over and make your decisions. I would love to just see city council and state legislatures just riddled with Greens and Movement and People's Party and Active Socialist. Those are the parties I'd like to see competing for slots, and just push out these other two evil, corrupt ones. Yeah. And I think the People's Party is doing a good job of trying to reach across non-traditional lines and build sort of coalitions with like libertarians and maybe even conservative red state voters on labor issues and stuff like that. I think there's a lot about the Greens I like, but and I've talked about this before. My problem with some of the Greens is they aren't really trying to win on local levels. And there's a lot of great people in the Green Party. A lot of great people really trying to get involved. And again, I voted Green I voted for Jill Stein. I voted for Greens on local elections. And, if there's some office and it's like a Republican, a Democrat, and a Green, I vote Green. But there's too much of just like, kind of like the Libertarian Party is just for disenfranchised Republicans. The Green Party is just for disenfranchised Democrats. And there's just a lot of people who are just like, I'm a Green. And they just sort of like, we're not going to really try to win. We're not going to really try to do anything. It's just sort of like this token protest gesture. Whereas to me, what I'm seeing, and that's why like what the Alaska Green Party did in ditching Howie Hawkins and putting Jesse Ventura on their ballot, that's the kind of shit the Green Party needs to be doing. Not this bickery, reality TV infighting crap, but like bold. Like what if Jesse Ventura wins the state of Alaska? Like what message would that send? That's bold. And that's like looking like, let's get now the Green Party, especially after 2016 and the popularity of Jill Stein, should have just been like, national mandate, get Greens on every city council, every state assembly now. And instead they just kind of meandered around, and Ron Placone and I just had problems with the Green. Not we had some great Green Party people come up to our shows, but we had a lot of cities. We would reach out to all these Green parties and say, we're doing a progressive comedy tour. We're coming to your town Do you want to set up a table? And they wouldn't get back to us. Or one time a guy said, oh, that's the night I yoga class. And where Movement for a People's Party was like, they had a table set up in almost every single city. Same with the Democratic Socialists of America. The Democratic Socialists of America are not a political party. They're a political like action group. So it's going to take, we got to really like get involved. And the party, the Green Party just seems too much like, too much preaching to the choir sometimes, or we're going to set up a table at like an organic farmer's market or whatever and get, liberal hippies to join us. And it's like the Green Party should do what the DSA is, which is like setting up shop in Texas and really going out into rural red state Texas and say, actually, here's how our platform can help you. And we don't like the Democratic Party either. But they don't want to do that. I'm not seeing enough of that happening with the Greens. So that's my opinion on that question. You guys are talking about green tea. Okay. Read a couple more super chats and we're going to sing, folks. I'm getting hungry. Dan McCartney, I put a bumper sticker on my 06 Buick. My other vehicle is Mahania. Mahania? Now I don't wait. I thought I got it. I don't think I get it. But thank you for putting that sticker on your 06 Buick. And thanks for supporting the show. I'm stuck on Beyond Starburger, Carl's Jr. Oh, God, those are so good. Those are so good. Is the Impossible Burger cooked on the same grill as the regular meat? That's a great question to ask when you go get it made, when you go to a place that sells them. They shouldn't. They should cook it on a separate grill with separate spatulas. Vera Romano, what's up, Vera? How you doing? Hey, Graham, I like your show, and was it possible for you to have your show to just talk about the benefits of being vegan and do interviews also? I like your show, and I was wondering, is it possible for you to have a show to just talk about the benefits of being vegan and do interviews also? Oh, Vera, some other people have suggested that. And that's maybe I'll just do like some vegan chats or something like that. Yeah. Or at the very least, I can just do like have a vegan doctor, cook, or somebody like that on the show every once in a while. Maybe I'll just try to do more of that. All right. I like that idea, Vera. Thank you. Oh, look at that. Boom. We just did a new idea. New idea. Thank you, Vera. And to me, the last iteration of the Green Party, lack of transparency that I would like to see in a participatory democratic republic. Yeah. Hi, Graham. Huge fan. Sorry, I'm not vegan. Don't worry, brother. It's all good. Vegans, remember to take vitamin B12 complex or green tea daily. Well, thank you for that tip. Kate, what's up, Kate? Our moderator. Show Kate some love. Busting out the knowledge there from the Windy City. What do you think the next giveaway from Biden or Trump? We got an eviction, half not sure it is legal. Oh, incremental centrism. So exciting. This kind of helping, sort of not. What do you think the next giveaway from Biden or Trump? We got an eviction, half not sure is legal, but I am curious what you think it will be. Yeah, they're going to both do some wacky things leading up. I mean, Trump is going to, like this CDC eviction thing, obviously it's not like a great policy. It's a political tactic to win in November. Oh boy. I honestly think the Democrats want to lose. I really think they want to. I mean, the way they just, there's no way they're this dumb. They have to like go, oh, I think they've gone, the economy's going to collapse. So we don't want to be in the White House when it happens because everyone will blame Biden. So just let Trump have it and he'll nosedive the country. I think that's their plan. I think that's like why they ran John Kerry. They sat and went, oh, we're going to be bankrupt because of all these wars and this housing bubble that's looming. So we'll let that hang around Bush's neck and then we'll win easily in 2008. I mean, they think in those terms. So I honestly don't think they'd want to win. So I don't know that Biden is going to come up, or Pelosi and the democratically controlled Congress are going to come up with any bold policies to help people, since we're still just, everybody's unemployment has run out. The $600 thing is gone. Maybe you can get a PPP loan if you're a small business owner, but I don't know. They might come back with some sort of Band-Aid. Trump proposed of bringing back $400, not the $600, but $400 to help people. Steve Mnuchin said, oh, everybody should go back to work because they're lazy, because I'm a rich asshole that's made my living being a parasite. So I know what working hard means. Me and my wife wallpaper our room with $100 bill sheets. I honestly, probably Trump will just do some more gestures or policies that make it look like he's really helping people to try to win in November. That's my guess. I just don't, and the Democrats will let him do it, or they'll fight him on it and they'll look worse. If the Democrats wanted to win this, they could crush Trump, They could crush him. He's so easily beatable. If the democratically controlled Congress was like passing bill after bill, clearly helping the American people and the American workers. And if the Republican Congress or Trump voted against it, they could go, see, the Republicans don't want you to have health care in a pandemic. The Republicans don't want you to have UBI. They don't want you to have student debt forgiveness that would help they don't want you to have your rent paid or your mortgage paid. And they could just pass these things, or at the very least go, the Republicans are blocking you from getting this, and they don't. So unfortunately, Kate, and God, I hope I'm wrong, because we could all use some more stimulus money like they gave those godless fucks on Wall Street. Excuse my language. Godless is a mean term. Soulless. I don't see any help coming for us. Jesus. Hit that like button, ladies and gentlemen. Hit that like button. 327 likes, 364 likes. I love it. I love it. I love it. Boom, 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 boom. I was just wondering what podcast or YouTuber Graham was talking about, but my questions were riddled with typos, so I understand. I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry. Graham, could you discuss Turkey's dictator Erdogan trying to start a war with invading Greek islands right now? Mainstream media is not discussing because of their role in Syria. Oh, God, yeah, I know. I don't know much about what's going on right there, but I just know that this country is never going to cover Turkey correctly. We won't acknowledge the Armenian genocide. Germany acknowledges the Armenian genocide, but Israel and America won't, because we need the strategic place because of oil with Turkey. So we're going to just, God, it's awful. Kate said, make sure you're subscribed. Yes, hit the subscribe button. Make sure I didn't miss any. Just super chatter. There we go. Let's see what the lovely Melissa H has to say for us. Melissa, are you shaving your knuckles for justice? Take up the whole screen. Graham, have you seen Dissident trailer? Documentary on Jamal Khashoggi's murder by Saudi Arabia and his Fiance's Fight for Justice released in 2020. No, I have not, but I really would like to see that. More ridiculous hypocrisy by the United States with regard to Khashoggi. It's awful what happened to him. And the media, wrung their hands that it happened, and then we're not going to really hold Saudi Arabia accountable. How can we do that when they give us oil and then buy our weapons? How can we do that? And again, why no one in mainstream media has ever talked about, they've never defended Julian Assange. They never defended Chelsea Manning. They've never even talked about Serena Shim. Who's Serena Shim, you ask? She was an American journalist that uncovered, going back to the Turkey discussion, one of the reasons why the mainstream media won't discuss Turkey or cover Turkey in any sort of honest manner is because Serena Shim discovered that we were moving ISIS through American bases in Turkey to get them into Syria. And then she had this mysterious car accident that's never been investigated or discussed. And I believe the car accident happened in Turkey. So I want to watch this Dissident. Thank you for letting me know about it and letting us all know about it. I suggest we all watch it. And I hope Khashoggi's fiance gets some justice, and I'll definitely watch that movie. But there's this very tangled web with Saudi Arabia and Turkey that we get all mad about these other dictators when they won't give us their oil or strategic access to pipelines or bases, but they won't let us put bases. But so Assad's some murderer, but Adrojan's like an ally of ours that we don't always agree with, but that's the painting of Adrojan and the Saudi royal family. Fucking such bullshit. Amberg 33. Boom. What's up? Chelsea Manning is a Twitch streamer now. Oh, wow. That's cool. What's she talking about? That's good. Naughty vegan. Boom. I'm available for vegan vigilante chat. Oh, you got it, Naughty Vegan. We'll have you on the show, my friend. I like this. Vegan cooking talk show. Oh, maybe we do that. Yeah, I'll do some kind of vegan cooking talk show. Yeah. I got to set the camera up and the lighting up in the kitchen, but I'll figure that out in the next month. I'll figure that out. Vegan cooking talk show. We'll do it live. Oh, come on. Love it. I love it. You guys have such great ideas. You guys make the show better. Hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Who am I going to vote for? Jesse Ventura. Celebrate Labor Day. The people who gave you the 8-hour, yeah. Graham, we can send you recipes on Patreon. Oh, you know what? Okay, hold that thought, because I need to revamp my Patreon a little bit. I'm not doing merch, so I got to take out the $20 shirt tier, because I'm not doing shirts. I'm redoing my merch and everything, and I just got to redo it. So maybe vegan recipe tier. Ooh. Okay. Let me figure out what that would be and how much a month that would be. Vegan recipe tier. That'd be all right. That's cool. Oh, God, fucking great idea. God, you guys have great ideas. If you're into vegan, you'll love Dr. Robert Morse. Okay, cool. Jesse will not be on many ballots. Okay. I want to give Graham my vegan chicken soup recipe. Oh, you got it. Graham, I tried to send a message on Patreon and it didn't work. Couldn't type anything. Well, that's weird. It might be like at the $2 level, they don't let you type. I think it's got to be the $5 and up level. Make sure I didn't miss any more super chats. Plantastic Life, what's up? Glad to see lots of interest in plant-based eating. There are lots of free healthy recipes on Plantastic Life website. Oh, we'll go to Plantastic Life. That's another person we could have on the show. Graham, I have the same question. Who are you recommending to watch earlier? Oh, Beau of the Fifth Column. And Beau is spelled B-E-A-U, of the Fifth Column. He's this dude with like a hat and a beard and talking in his like garage or shed or whatever. And he just, check that out, man. Like Beau of the Fifth Column. It's really, and he just sits and talks, you know, and he's like holding the police accountable, and he talks about Black Lives Matter, and he brings it like, I saw one episode. He's like, all right, let's talk about the ATF up out in the rural areas and stuff. We don't like ATF taking our rights away. That's how Black people feel about the police in their community. And it's like, puts it in their language. Like, I never would have thought to bring that up because I've lived in big cities my whole life. It's a really good show. Graham, what does 118 degrees feel like? I want to know. Oh, climate collapse. Feels like climate collapse. In India, vegan food is just normal dose of food. Right on. I love Indian food. Oh my God, I love Indian food. Guy in a Shed podcast, Beau of the Fifth Column. Check it out. All right, folks, let's sing. Let's sing. I forget what song. You guys always recommend songs, and I forget what it is. Fly Me to the Moon. That's right. As Eddie Vedder. Don't need a Geico ad. All right. I love this about the StreamYard. Oh, you want Shatner? Okay. All right. I'll Shatner doing Fly Me to the Moon. You got it. Oh, fuck. I know what I forgot to do. I'm going to put it on the other. Hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for supporting the show. Go to GrahamElwood.com, PayPal button, Patreon.com/Graham Elwood. I will be adding the vegan recipe tier. Shelton Deere, what's up, Shelton? Bitcoin is money according to the U.S. Comptroller of Currency. We have to kneecap the imperialist war machine from all types of war by defunding them. Yeah, baby. Go crypto. Crypto is how you fight them. This is how you fight them. Thank you, Shelton. I appreciate that. I've been talking more and more about crypto, Bitcoin. That's why I like Rockfin. Rockfin is a blockchain cryptocurrency platform. So again, if money's tight, a great free way to support the show is just sign up for Rockfin. That's free. And like what they call it, endorse and like my videos on Rockfin. if you can, $10 a month gets you all the premium content on Rockfin. Myself, Ron Placone, Richard Medhurst, Kim Iverson, Convo Couch, Nico House, Whitney Webb now is doing stuff on Rockfin. Jimmy Dore's on Rockfin. Dave Anthony from The Dollop is on Rockfin now. So you get all this premium content. You pay $10 of US money a month, and they transfer that into, and they pay us in cryptocurrency. All right, here comes Shatner. Here we go.
Fly me to the moon. Let me play among the stars at Warp Factor 5. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars and the Sagittarius Nebula. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, baby, kiss me. Fill my heart with song, Romulan air. Let me sing forevermore. You are all I worship, all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. We'll open about hailing frequency. Scotty, I need more power. Power. Love. Fill my heart with song. Let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. Scotty, we need more power. In other words, Spock, as I said, in other words, I love you.
Ladies and gentlemen, a little Shatner-Roki for you. That was a fun one. That was super fun. Sheldon, Shatnerific, live long and prosper, King of the Rat Pack. Oh, that was a great song. That's a great song. That is a great song. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the show. Thank you so much for watching. Support everything I do. Like, share, subscribe, follow me on the social media at Graham Elwood. Become a Patreon member, patreon.com/Graham Elwood. You get bonus content. You get early access to stuff. This live stream will come down and you can watch it in its entirety on Patreon. And of course, support me at the Rockfin, baby. Blockchain cryptocurrency. We're about to get 10,000 followers on Rockfin. Thanks for watching, everybody. You're making Gotham great again. Shave your knuckles for justice. You're all political vigilantes involved. Whatever way you can do it, you're all involved. And thank you for coming here to hang out with me on a Sunday. We'll see you tomorrow night, 8 o'clock for the Rockfin exclusive. 8 o'clock Pacific.